Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lachlan and today's video is going to be a spoiler-free book review on The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. So The Love Hypothesis is Ali's debut rom-com novel. It follows a third-year PhD candidate named Olive, who is a very loyal and loving friend to her best friend Anne. I think that's how you say it. It's spelled A-N-H. So in order to convince Anne that she is in like a happy relationship, she ends up fake dating this super moody, grumpy science professor. And it starts off with her convincing Anne by kissing him in like the hallway randomly. Like she doesn't even really know who he is and she just is like kisses him in front of Anne. So anyway, they start fake dating. This book, it definitely has a fake dating trope to it. It also has a little bit of forced proximity, not a whole lot, but there's just like a little bit in there, as well as some age gap. I think he's like 34 and she's 26 maybe, and a little bit of grumpy sunshine. So if you like those tropes, definitely check this out, especially if you like rom-com. I loved how well done the tropes were in this book. I loved how their relationship just started out as a little sizzle and then it grew and grew and grew, and it definitely was more of a, I wouldn't say a slow burn, but it kind of was, because it definitely was, there's no insta love in this book. I mean, it's definitely fake dating, but it's the best kind of fake dating. Adam was just so swoon worthy, and although he's grumpy, he still treats her with the utmost respect. Like he's really nice to her, but not in a ew kind of way. He's nice to her in a respectful kind of way, but it's not like gushy, if that makes any sense. Like he's just like respects her as a person and is really nice to her, and I really love that about it. I could kind of see how this would also be perceived as I hate everyone but you, because he was pretty much rude to everyone but Olive. Anyway, I love their progression of their relationship. It was just so well done. I'm usually not a rom-com person. There's just certain aspects of rom-com that I'm not a fan of. For that reason, this is not my all-time favorite book or anything like that, but I think for the genre itself, this is a 5 out of 5 star book. It's just so good. The reason I picked this up is because there's somebody that I follow on Bookstagram who doesn't like rom-coms. We've had the discussion before and she raved about this book. And I was like, okay, now I have to pick it up because we don't like rom-coms. So yeah, it was just, the tension in this book was really well done, but it was also really, really funny. Like the comedy was just chef's kiss, you guys. Chef's freaking kiss. It was funny, romantic, heartwarming, and it also made me cry. When I picked this up, I was in a very stressed out mood because my dog had just had surgery and I couldn't focus on anything. So I was like, you know what? Let me pick this up because I'm hoping it'll be like a fun, lighthearted read that will kind of take away my anxiety, and it really did. It really was that for me. I finished this in a 24-hour period, but the next day I wasn't really in the mood for a rom-com anymore. I really have to be like in the mood because my dog was feeling better and I was feeling better, and I was just like, eh. So anyway, I live in Texas, so it's still hot, so I ended up laying out by the pool with a few margaritas, and I ended up crying in the pool while reading this book. It's kind of a spoiler, so I'll save it until the end. I know I said this was going to be spoiler free, but I'll tell you like why I cried in the last like 2 minutes of this video. I want to know if anyone else cried during that moment. I don't know if it was like the margaritas or what, but I definitely cried. I love this book. It just made me laugh. It made me so giddy, and it's definitely added a new book boyfriend to my list of book boyfriends. I don't like rom-coms per se, but I think this will go down in history as like the one rom-com that I actually really do love. And now again, there are aspects of it that I didn't love because it is a rom-com and it just has like, I don't know how to explain it. It's when I'm reading about characters doing like little everyday tasks. I only enjoy so much of that. I love contemporary romance, and contemporary romance has that a little bit, but not as much. I feel like rom-coms are very, very heavily on the like little mundane things, and that's enjoyable to me for an extent. I more so enjoy plot-driven books, I think, because it keeps me like, you know, wondering what's happening. And with rom-com, it's kind of like you don't really wonder what happens, But with this, I really was like, what is happening? There were plot twists in this book. It wasn't just like a fun, lighthearted rom-com. I mean, it was, but there was also plot twists. So it was very engaging. And the characters alone were just very lovable and engaging. And there was also a side romance in this book that was, I'm not going to say what it was because it's definitely a spoiler, but like 10 out of 10. I was written like heavily academia, and in the author's note, like the author pretty much talks about like, I wrote in academia because academia is all I know. But it worked out so well for her because I've never read anything like this, and it was just so freaking cute. So with that said, I'm going to just go into the little tidbit of why I cried. It is a spoiler, so if you made it this far, you can leave a pink and a blue heart emoji because of the color scheme of this book. And thank you so much for watching. But if you haven't read, just maybe read it and then come back and then find out why I cried. Spoiler warning. So the reason why I cried is when she found out she had the recording of Tom and her friends were in the room whenever it started playing, and they were like, what the heck is that? And then she goes into the bathroom and like turns on the faucet. I think she turned on the faucet and like just was like crying in the bathroom, and then she comes back and Anne and I think his name is Aaron were in the room, and they were crying and they were so upset for her, and it was just, I found that scene to be so, it was like heartwarming but gut-wrenching at the same time because it showed how like close that friendship was. It showed how much her friends cared for her. It just pulled at my heartstrings, and it could have been the 2 margaritas that I had, which is equivalent to like 4 tequila shots. I think it also was just a little bit of pulling at the heartstrings because that scene was just so, it was so well done. I didn't find it cheesy at all, like whatsoever. Especially in rom-coms, it can easily become cheesy, but no, this was not cheesy at all. It's an incredible story about a grumpy sunshine, fake dating, as well as friendship, and I loved it so much. And I don't know much about STEM, but it also has, you know, women in STEM representation. I think a lot of women who are in that field will find this to be a very meaningful book to them. So that pretty much wraps up my thoughts about this book. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below, and I'll see you guys later with another video. Bye!